everyone to the Chasta and Huey podcast. It's like hanging out with your childhood buddies at a dive bar having a beer together. Through your headphones. Or better yet, they're like a security blanket. Maybe a little itchy, but still warm and cozy. It's time for the show. Here's Chasta and Huey. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh my gosh,
Why?
if you're watching on YouTube, I made a really bad face because my kombucha got hot. Woo, kombucha is hard. That's hard to get down when it's warm. Woo.
It looked like you just did a shot of something.
I kind of feel like I did. It kind of tasted like that. It's like, oh my God. Anyway, how we doing, Chasta and Huey, on a Monday? Whoop, whoop. We are bound and determined to have a better week this week than last week. Look, I know most of everything that happened last week that was shitty. We could not help. Wasn't our fault. Dan DeLay's on with us. That always helps with our mood.
Yes,
What's
that
up,
helps.
yeah, last week was just really crappy. So I feel like you and I are still in recovery mode from that.
Yeah, I think it was on Bone Breakers this week, which is, hey, if you're anyone tuning into our podcast right now, like, what's Bone Breakers? New music show on the Bone every Saturday, 9 p.m. Break new bands, break new songs, break the format. And we were talking 2025 will go down, hands down, our most challenging year working in radio, working at this radio station, 107.7 The Bone, of just all the obstacles we had to overcome between obviously Ozzy's death, Hulk Hogan's death, obviously more Ozzy for our sake. The Rock.
Sorry, did I say that? I don't.
No, and that's the thing.
Look, Hulk Hogan was an icon when we were kids, but
Yes.
once you find out what kind of person is behind that icon, that's when it's heartbreaking. And I'll leave that there.
Exactly right. No, with Hulk Hogan, everyone's like, "Oh, Huey, I know you're a big wrestling fan. I'm sorry, you're probably upset." I'm like, here's my thing.
Yeah.
One of my favorite podcasts, Going in Raw, Steven Larson, they're based in Sacramento, amazing wrestling podcast. Steve also has a separate YouTube channel, and he was talking about called Wrestle Juice, and he was talking about Hulk Hogan, and he says, he summed it up best. He's like, with Hulk Hogan, I'm not celebrating his death, but I'm not also mourning his death.
Right.
And like that was
well
perfect. That was a great explanation. Like, that's the thing. Like, obviously, yeah, growing up, I was a huge Hulk Hogan fan, Hulkamaniac, love Hulk Hogan, what he did in the 80s and 90s, like 2 boom periods.
He was wrestling at that time.
And he is hands down the biggest superstar, the biggest wrestler of all time. Name value, what he did for the business, helped WWF expand nationally, globally as well. But his legacy has been tarnished the last 10 years. And it was actually 10 years the day he passed of when those sex tapes came out, and then the audio on there, all the racist comments he was making. And so, yes, his legacy is tarnished. And so for me, it makes it hard to still be a fan of him when you find out who Hulk Hogan, aka Terry Bollea, is as a person. And so it's tough to be a continued fan. So for me, it's like I try to separate the two. It's like Hulk Hogan, the wrestler, I was a fan of what he did for the business and a lot of great moments, even though there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. He was very political with, looking out for himself, being selfish for himself, but that's a whole nother story. But then the last 10 years, we find out who he really is behind closed doors, Terry the person, the racist comments, his political agenda in the last couple years, like all that stuff. So it's like stuff I don't agree with. And it makes me sad to find out that's who he is. So yeah, you're right. It's like, I'm not gonna, it's like, I'm a more fan of Stone Cold Steve Austin and other wrestlers as well. So yeah, I'm with you.
Dan DeLay is yelling Iron Sheik forever in the comments.
It makes Iron Sheik so much more because Iron Sheik's like, fuck Hulk Hogan. I'll break his back and make him humble. So, anyway, sorry. But yes, moving on from that. Yes, last week was much more hard with the passing of Ozzy Osbourne. And
I'll say, I mean, it's not like Ozzy is, Mother Teresa over here. Like, he definitely had his own, issues in the past. And Brother Thomas Cruise is on the line. Who made me cry. We went to a show you and I did on Saturday night at the Fox in Redwood City. Great show. He Who Greets with Fire. We had Corvus Floor in Devil, California. And Thomas jumped up and did an Ozzy song with Devil. Mama, I'm Coming Home. And I mean, if you didn't have chills or, tears in your eyes or something, you needed to check your pulse because that was brutal.
I mean, kudos to Thomas. He was channeling Zach Wild, obviously on guitar for that song. And, it's just cool that Zach Wild also in Pantera. I know Thomas loves Pantera. So it's just cool. Thomas said things doing right by Zach Wild and just performing that song. And Tony did an amazing job as obviously doing the vocals like Ozzy and
they did really great. Tony texted yesterday. It was like, because Jay and I both were just blown away and crying over that. And Tony was like, yeah, we didn't get to practice it all that much. I was like, well, you couldn't tell on our end. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, Thomas, doing that song was so important to me and all of us for Oz. Yeah, I mean that loss of Ozzy, I think will continue to hit for a very long time. We were live with it. We went wall to wall with it. For the rest of that day, for the most part, Ozzy and Black Sabbath, and it was. We were in work mode, so I think it took me a couple of days to actually for it to hit me and to start mourning it. And it's been so interesting because there have been, very few, but a couple of people that have challenged that, like, why do you cry over rich rock stars, which that one made me laugh, or people that you've never met. And I'm like, it's so amazing to me. Surely they have felt connected to someone like that in their life, that they haven't met, that has done work that has meant a lot to them. It's weird that people have an issue with that, to me.
And that's the thing. Listen, I know not everyone is like a music fan, which is always weird when I meet someone and said,
I will judge you faster on that than almost anything.
Well, there's people I met, it's like, I don't really listen to music. And I was like, what do you do for fun, then?
I'm literally like, nice to meet you. It's a pleasure. Bye-bye. Like, I don't even know how to relate to you.
Yeah. So with that being said, like, I think most people are a music fan in some capacity and fans of different genres. And so with that being said, when you're a fan of different artists,
non-music fans equals bad people. Okay, you
totally.
said what I was thinking.
Absolutely.
Like, what is wrong with you?
Yes.
Do you have a soul? Okay, sorry.
But that's my thing. It's like, so if you're a fan of music, then you have your favorite artists, bands, musicians, whatnot, and over time, you try to absorb as much of their music as you can, like for example, me, Green Day. Like, obviously, the last 30 plus years. Every time Green Day has a new album out, I buy it. I listen to it over and over, buy posters, t-shirts, merch, go to the concerts. Like, these musicians become part of your life. And they're there for you. Like, when my mom passed away, Green Day music is what got me through that. Listening to Green Day songs, it was therapeutic in many ways. And that's my thing. It's like, so whenever your favorite artist passes away and that music helped you in some way over the years, of course you're going to feel bad. You're going to be sad. Like, that person is no longer going to make more music for me or be in my life in some capacity. Thank God their music will live on forever. But nonetheless, as far as new stuff, maybe seeing them live at some point, that's all gone. And that hurts so much.
And I think it's the memories you attach to it. Like, I'm not necessarily mourning the Ozzy from the reality show that's walking around and yelling at, Sharon and his dogs. Like that, that's the silly stuff. To me, it's like the little girl that found that music and connected to it, and all the memories that I have connected to Sabbath and Ozzy. Like, when you lose someone like that, you go down memory lane and you think about every memory or every person even that's attached to those songs. And it's all wrapped up, right? It's all like one little blanket of memories for you, and that to me is where it becomes so layered in your grief.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, like everyone else, I've been listening to a lot of Ozzy lately. Like, kudos to you, what you did on the air as far as trying to be professional, keep it together as best you can, and help people through this process, and just play a bunch of Ozzy, Black Sabbath songs. But I talked to you about this, talked to Thomas about this on Saturday. Ozzy alone, like the amount of music he has created in what Sabbath started, 69. So let's see, 31, 56 years of existence. How much music, how many albums he made with Black Sabbath, and then solo Ozzy, all the hit songs from all those records. Like, you could play his music nonstop for hours, days, weeks, years. Like, it's amazing how many hits he's had, and it just kind of like the path of his career, all the different type of kind of like genres he's covered in the metal world. It's truly amazing.
Like you have to think about that too. Like how many bands literally would not exist today if they hadn't been inspired by him or, the guys in Sabbath. I mean, that it can't be overstated the impact that they had with playing that music. Loved talking to Lizzie Hale about this because, she was directly, as she points out, directly inspired. I mean, she spells her name Lzzy because of Ozzy. Like and we love her, but that's just one example of God knows how many. God knows how many that we know of and that we don't know of,
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, we talked about this before, the Back to the Beginning concert a few weeks ago. It really represented the family tree of metal that Black Sabbath started. They were the roots, the seeds of this genre and influenced so many bands. And all those bands came out and performed in honor of Black Sabbath. Ozzy is what?
Dan DeLay. Zach Wilde would be selling insurance. Oh, Dan's on one today.
But that's the thing, but that's the thing, Chasta. Like the other thing too with Ozzy, like how catchy all his songs were. I was doing like a deep dive. Like he's always had like the best players around him too. Like obviously with Randy Rhoads, then Jakey Lee, then Zach Wilde, but also Tommy Aldridge on drums and like all the Rudy Sarzo bass. Like he's had like all the best musicians for years. Then even the 90s, like Mike Borden, Robert Trujillo playing with him. And it's really cool. Like for me, I was like thinking how you sum up Ozzy is like Black Sabbath, then solo Ozzy in the 80s, and then the 90s. The Black Sabbath reunion, but also Ozfest really became a thing. And like Ozfest, as far as like a tour that like supported metal and hard rock, like how many bands we follow and know were like appreciating that. Like Ozfest was like one of the first tours that put them on the map or got them exposure. Yeah. So like how many bands owe so much to Ozzy in that for everything that they've done. So that's to me, it's so cool. And then obviously, the reality stuff, because the reality show, the Osbournes on MTV in the early 2000s, I watched it. I loved it. I know it was only 3 seasons. Yeah, I know it was only 3 seasons, but it was funny because it was like you get to see another side of Ozzy because we think he's like this immortal god, this rock star, but you really see he's a normal guy that loves eating burritos and has a lot of dogs in the house.
Dogs and
loves his family.
He's a goofy guy. Side of somebody that we couldn't have imagined that he had that side to him, and so he became all the more charming for it. Michaela's on the line. I've been rewatching the Osbournes. It's on Prime. Yeah,
it is. Ooh, I would definitely watch it.
That was on Prime. Yeah, we need to start over. A quick couple more comments here, and then we'll get into. We're gonna play catch up a little bit. We'll get into that in a second. Thomas, no one else has been this impactful on the world since Elvis. Agreed. Yeah. I totally understand. And then Thomas saying Ozfest 2003 was only a few months after his dad passed. He was 14. Ozzy has been a major part of my life since. I'll always mourn his loss. Huey, you were talking about the impact of Green Day getting through your mom's passing. For me, that was Bob Seger. My dad loved Bob Seger. I'll never forget whenever I flew home after my dad passed, and I got the keys to his truck and I opened the truck door. And first of all, the smell of like pipe smoke and cigarette smoke. My dad was a smoker, and I know this sounds weird, but like I love that smell now because I relate it to my dad. Anyway, I opened that up and the smell hit me and it was just overwhelming. And I looked down and there was a Bob Seger CD in his car, in his seat. And I just like never forget. I took that home. It's one of my treasures, and so it really is that connective tissue that you have with these memories and these people in your life and this music. That's what gets you. Oh man.
It's sad, but it's also a reminder, and we talked about this on Bone Breakers, that these people are not immortal, unfortunately. Like, that's the thing. Ozzy existed before you and I were born. So he's always been part of our life. Yeah. And now it's like this new phase of our life that Ozzy's not around anymore. That's just trippy to think about. And the sad part is, more of these rock stars are going to go at some point. It's tough to think about, but reality is like, that's going to happen. And it's
so now we're all going to go broke going to see all of our favorite stars.
Totally.
Like now we have capital T trauma from missing opportunities.
I know, but it's just, and that's the thing. It's like, enjoy these people all you can, give people their flowers when you can, enjoy the music, spread the love. Just thank you, Ozzy, for everything, for everything he's covered in pop culture. Like, I don't know if there's anyone else in the rock world that's done what he's done. Obviously, get started Black Sabbath, create a genre of music, and then have a solo career that's arguably bigger than the previous band he came from, which is rare, and then start tours and that help promote other bands, and then do reality shows. Like, it's just amazing. Like, I don't know anyone else. Like, Robert Plant never done that, or I'm just trying to think of like examples of other rock stars on that level.
Would be the closest as far as impact goes, but I agree with you. Like, once that was done, Robert really took a step back. Like, he wasn't, he didn't want to be in the public eye. He has never reunited with them for his own reasons, and those I respect. But yeah, no, I agree with you. And I will say, a lot of people have a lot of shit to say about Sharon Osbourne, but she had a lot to do with a lot of this. She was a brainchild. She was the Kris Jenner of rock and roll.
I mean, if anything, it makes you wonder, she helped, maybe kept him alive, like by being with him and kind of keeping him going, keeping him on track and doing stuff. Because if she wasn't around, who knows? He could have been gone a lot sooner with his behavior. And
people want to give her shit. And I understand some of the comments. I really do. Like, I get where some of that anger comes from. But I also have to say, you didn't live and put up with Ozzy, because that was not an easy task. I'm positive. Like, from a lover's perspective, from a partner perspective, like, she went through some shit. So, like, she deserves a little bit of credit.
I get it. And that's the thing. It's they've done. The two of them, they accomplished so much together, and for the most part, we're fans of all that stuff. I mean, there's obviously a lot.
Addams Family too, like that's another reason to love them.
I mean, I went down rabbit hole and watched this video about Jake E. Lee's history, because I didn't know much about him. The guy after Randy Rhoads. Well, no, technically Brad Gillis was there.
I was gonna say yes,
Brad, which I do want to shout out Brad Gillis. Like, I really appreciate him coming onto the Bone last week to call in and talk about his time with Ozzy, because he was the guitarist touring right after Randy Rhoads passed away, and he did that one tour with them. He's on Speak of the Devil. That's the live album from Ozzy. That's all Black Sabbath songs that they covered. But that was funny because, like, you and Lamont are on the air, and I'm sitting here at home like, okay, what can we do to kind of, obviously you're playing music, you're sharing stories. I'm like, what else can we do to kind of just really pay our respect? And that's why I was like, hit you guys. I was like, let's try to get Brad Gillis on. And I looked, I didn't have his number. And I was like, we've talked before. Thank God I looked at my emails. I found an old email from 14 years ago, and I wrote back to it, and sure enough, he called me the next day, and that's how we got him on. So thank you, Brad, for making time.
Well, and good idea to reach out to him, because he is definitely accessible and somebody that, would respond, and he did. So bless him.
And it worked out just perfect, because he said he had to go back on the road, Night Ranger, like 2 days later. So he did our show, and I think he did Eddie Trunk right after. So it was like, we got him on, talk about his time with Ozzy, and I'm sure for him, it was great just to reshare those stories and stuff. And so it was just cool. We love Brad Gillis and Night Ranger, all that stuff.
That is a podcast. You definitely go listen to that, because that's freaking fascinating. All right. So we're a little stopped up here. We have been so busy doing other things that we are a little constipated on Huey Helps. So we have kind of a roster, and I have about a little less than 20 minutes before I have to get my heart winner. So let's just get through these as quickly as we can, see how many we can catch up on.
If you've got trouble, we've got the cure for what ails ya.
The Bay Area's bestie, Huey, is here with advice.
It's Huey Help.
Okay. So the first one comes from Drew. He sent a DM on Instagram. And he says, Huey, all my friends have done these amazing public over-the-top proposals, and I've always wanted to do something similar, but my girlfriend would hate it. And he put hate in big, bold letters. Hate it. She's super introverted and has said more than once that being proposed to in front of people would be her nightmare. Okay, so I'm like, Then what's the question? Well, I want to respect that, but part of me still wants to capture something special on video to share with our family and friends. Would it be terrible to propose privately and then ask her to redo it for socials? Or is it already a bad sign if I start our life together with a moment she wouldn't actually want?
Okay, first off, fuck the other friends. Like, you don't need to live up to their expectations. It's all about you and your partner, what makes you happy, and respect her wishes, her boundaries. So honor that. But with that being said, if she doesn't want to be proposed in public, then fine. Do something romantic privately. That's more important. I mean, that's the thing. A lot of people post all these, big proposals, wedding proposals, but also like gender reveals. Like it's getting out of control. And I'm like, a lot of people watch it and like, all right, and then scroll on. Like it's in and out of the head and people forget about it. So like really was all that trouble worth it? But I do understand like these special moments you do want to capture. That's why you got to find one of your friends that's like a ninja or something and gotta like hire someone or a friend that can hide. Like you plan out the proposal, do something cool, romantic, and to her knowledge, it's private. But have that friend like, hide somewhere, but has like a good view that can film it, document it if you need to. I mean, hell, a lot of these microphones now, you could buy like cool microphones, like wireless Rode mics. You can mic yourself up if you need to, and like
one of the
record
mics
yourself.
I have, and I took to New Orleans. Is literally, it's like a half inch big, and I clipped it like you don't even see it.
Yeah.
So you can definitely do that.
The one I got, the Rode one, it's the same thing. You can plug, has the cable up your sleeve, and you can like clip it on your shirt. If that's what I'm saying, if you want like good audio for your proposal to sync up with the video from your ninja friend that's like far away filming this. Yeah. But I think that's the thing. It's like you respect her wishes because at the end of the day, this is going to be your partner, your future wife that you have to live with. And you don't want to embarrass her out of the gate. But then again, that's the thing. Like all these proposals getting out of control as far as at sporting events and whatnot. So that's my thing. But like, figure out a way to document it without her knowledge, and at least tell like, hey, I have it on video. Is it okay? I share it. Ask her if she does. At least you have it documented, and you guys decide later what to do with that footage.
I think you start to lose the why of what you're doing when you really are more consumed with doing it bigger and better or doing it for socials. Like you really need to think about that moment is so intimate, like whenever Jay proposed, it was just he and I, in absolute paradise in Moorea, which is basically an island off the coast of Tahiti. It was he and I standing on a balcony together, and it was that moment. Like I have the stories and I have the memories, and we took a selfie or whatever. This is a long time ago, but like none of it mattered. I wouldn't have even thought of that because that moment is so personal and intimate and private. And if we had it on video and we discussed it later that we wanted to share it, that's fine. I'm certainly not above sharing. I've literally shared everything that's ever happened to me in my entire life on the air or on podcast or video or whatever. But if that's really not her speed, that's first. You got to respect that. You got to honor
my thing.
That's a good one.
Yeah, like what's more important, documenting the proposal or documenting the wedding? Like I would say maybe that's the compromise. Like the proposal's private, but the wedding you can go a little more out there and like share
you're inviting
stuff.
people to be a part of it.
Yeah. But like my other thing too, because it's like even still, it's like a private moment, and you still kind of put it out there. It just feels awkward, like we're like watching something that we shouldn't be watching, at the same time.
Yeah,
like we're a fly on a wall.
It is. Yeah, it is. That is, I mean, that's Thomas's life is about small moments. Those are the ones we live in every day. Make a small moment special. I agree. Michaela said, when I went to the Rex in Dallas, someone from the crowd proposed on stage. We've seen that happen before. Thomas, you can capture a more private moment so much easier than a big public one, but also just go with whatever feels the best for your relationship, not someone else's. And that's my whole thing. Yeah. Like that's you got to go. Dan DeLay, I love microphones. You got to go.
Photographer Heidi.
Yeah, I mean, plenty of people do. Actually, our friend AJ, I believe, just did that because I saw a picture he posted on social, and it was clearly from far away, but you didn't see anything or hear anything as far as the proposal. But
exactly,
he did post it on social, and it was beautiful, and you got the idea. Okay, all right, I think we summed that one up. Number 2, who is this from? This is from Matt. Okay. Oh, this one's juicy. You ready? My girlfriend and her ex are still super close, like daily phone calls and constant text kind of close. She calls him her best friend and insists there's absolutely nothing romantic left. I believe her, but it still feels weird. I'm not trying to be controlling, but the constant connection between them makes me feel like a third wheel in my own relationship. Am I being insecure for wishing they weren't so close, or is it fair to want more space between them?
Okay, I don't know how old Matt is, but Matt, first things first, go online. I don't know where it's streaming. Go watch Seinfeld because Jerry Seinfeld and Elaine, that's his friend. But for everyone who knows the show, they dated beforehand and yet they broke up and they were still friends afterwards. And obviously we got 8, 9 seasons of an amazing sitcom. But the premise of
it's just funny that you're like, we got 9 seasons out of the deal.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, hypothetically, I think Seinfeld back in the late 80s, early 90s, they try to normalize being friends with your ex still. And Jerry, he was a total womanizer, was dating a lot of women on that show. And listen, I know that's Hollywood. That's a sitcom. That's not real life. But at least they try to normalize being your friend with the ex. With that being said, with this real life situation here, I would think, I think it's possible. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, if you're obviously Matt and his girlfriend are in a relationship. If the ex is in a relationship with someone else, then I can see like it really is what's the word? Plutonic? Is that the right word?
Platonic. Platonic. Yes. I
don't use it enough. I was going to say red tonic.
Berkeley grad.
Hell yeah. but sorry. But that's my thing. It's like, I would imagine in this situation, they probably are being honest here. Now, granted, I think that's part of the thing. It's like a part of a working relationship. You got to communicate with each other. And if you have any insecurities, you should be able to express yourself and come to a compromise in that situation as well. So
I agree. I think it's good that you know about this relationship, first off, Matt. The fact that you know how close they are, that you know how much they're texting, and that to me, right out the gate, shows that she's not hiding anything. There's nothing to hide.
Yeah.
So that's a really good sign. I mean, speaking from experience, I am good friends with my ex-husband. So for those who don't know, I was married previously in my very, very early 20s when I was just a babe. And he and I moved to California together, and then he ended up moving back to Oklahoma. We were only married for like, I forget, maybe 2 years, not very, very long at all.
Okay.
But he and I are good friends. Like, I adore him as a human. Like, I love him very much. Jay knows him. I should say, I should use air quotes. They have each other's phone numbers. They have texted before. I mean, the day we got married, Jamie had texted Jay. They went back and forth, and he was like, I'm so glad that you get to take care of her, and that you guys are such a wonderful couple. Like, there's a lot of love there. And Jay's always been very cool. Now, Jay is a very secure, confident kind of dude. He ain't worried about anybody, and he has no reason to be. But I am very on board, as you well know, being my best friend, with platonic relationships. Like, I have tons of guy friends that I'm incredibly close with. Thomas Cruise is a perfect example of that. I will wrap up in Thomas Cruise's arms. He will hold me like a little baby, and I love him so much. And that, like, there's nothing wrong with that. If you have those boundaries in place and you have mutual respect for each other, and like what it is, and everyone's honest, I see no problem with it at all.
It's funny. I wonder if Jay ever texts him, if you guys are in a situation he doesn't know how to get out of it. Maybe does he ask Jamie for advice? Like, hey, how would you deal with Chasta in this situation?
That's hilarious.
Like, that's his own
Huey, right?
His own Huey wife help with this guy.
That's very funny. No, but here's the one thing I will say about his question. The only thing that I think is weird is the everyday constant notion of it. Like, Jamie and I, we always reach out on each other's birthdays or holidays, or we'll check in maybe every couple of months. It is a totally, Thomas hugs are the best, Dan DeLay, you are absolutely right. It's a totally different thing to make space in your life every single day for someone. Like, there are very few people that I talk to every day. You're one of them. Michaela is one of them. That to me seems a little like, if she's making more space for him than she is you, then that's a problem.
Yeah. And that's the one thing too, as well, is like, okay, this ex of hers, or her ex-boyfriend, the guy needs to get some other hobbies or something. He needs to get like busy, and so maybe it's like, dude, like, tell him, if you're afraid, tell him to back off, or maybe just be honest with him, like, hey, my current boyfriend is just the girlfriend should be able to tell the ex-boyfriend, like, hey, we talk too much, and out of respect for him, let's just put a little space there. Not saying we can't be friends anymore, but like, let's just be courteous. Like if it was the other way around, how would you feel about that? That's my big defense for a lot of things. If the shoe was on your foot, how would you feel about this?
Yeah.
Like let's spin it around. I mean, Chas, as you know, like I had a crazy ex that was like, she hated the idea of me having any sort of female friends, and made me go on my Instagram and unfollow every woman that I was following on there, even though I was like, that's my cousin. Like, that woman right there, that's my cousin. She's marrying kids and stuff. Like, nothing to worry about. That one, that's my
nothing to worry about.
Yeah, that's my coworker. That's a friend from high school. Obviously, she's married and lives in a different state. Like, it was just ridiculous, the insecurities of this person. So, with that being said, I'm just there's a difference, I think, between insecure and like also having common courtesy for your current partner as well. So it's weird. It's just tough boundaries, and there's a lot of gray area there. But I think obviously communication, that's my big thing. You should be able to communicate with your partner and come up with compromises.
Yeah, I totally agree. Well said. All right, one more quick one before I have to hop off here and get my heart winner. We're giving away heart tickets on the bone, by the way. Okay, last one. This is going to end up being more for me than you. Kyle. I love my girlfriend to death, but she has one habit that drives me absolutely insane. She talks through every movie and TV show. She asks questions out loud. She makes jokes. Half the time, she's not even paying attention. She's just reacting. I know it sounds petty, but it's getting harder and harder to enjoy watching anything with her. If I didn't love her so much, I'd probably snap. How do I ask her to just be quiet during a movie without hurting her feelings or sounding like a jerk? I'm going to answer this one before Huey. Threaten her life. My husband does this, and every single day of my life, I like look over, I just give him this glare, and he just quietly, he knows, because Jay is the worst. He will have a full-blown relationship and conversation with the person in the movie. I'm like, oh my God.
I'm with you. I'm at the point now where it's like, I need to watch TV by myself because I have relatives. Sometimes my dad will talk. Like, that's the thing. My dad, if we're watching something and like it's a show that's been around and he doesn't know the history, he'll start asking all these questions. Like, Dad, let me watch I'm missing what they're saying. Now you're interrupting me. Let me, when there's a commercial break, I'll catch you up. Cliff Notes version.
It's very important. Just tell me to pause. We can pause. I'm fine with pausing.
Yes. Or after the show is, done, then I can explain everything. Just enjoy the ride. I'll fill you in afterwards. But yeah, I have aunts and uncles who talk as well. And I'm like, I'm sitting there like, God damn it. Shut up.
What kills me is like when Jay and I are watching something brand new. We've just started a new show or a new movie or whatever. And he's asking me questions. I'm like, how am I supposed to know, boy? I haven't seen this. Like let's write it out. Let's see how this whole thing shapes out. It's called a plot. Oh my God. Michaela, Uncle Jay is not allowed to watch Harry Potter with us. Sister, it literally, I'm not kidding you. It does not matter what it is. It could be Sex in the City. It could be Happy Gilmore 2. It could be anything. He's going to talk to the screen. It's brutal. So there's no easy way. Just threaten their life. I'm obviously kidding, but like I get very pissed. Last night, I'll give you an example. Last night we were catching up on And Just Like That, which is the Sex and the City reboot. And he just holds the remote in his hand and it like glitched out or something. And I just went, he was like, I wasn't touching it. I'm like, it's literally in your hand. Put the remote down. Don't say a word. Like it's almost a full contact sport watching TV with Jay. Oh like I'm getting hot just thinking about it. But the thing is, Jay and I have shows together. We don't watch TV without each other. The only thing we watch TV, like he'll watch soccer without me because I have no interest, and I'll watch like a YouTube thing without him. That's it. Other than that, we watch everything together.
Let me ask you this: as a married couple watching stuff together, how's that work deciding what to watch? Is it like your turn for a show, and then when that show's done, then it's his turn to pick out show, and vice versa, or a movie? Like, what's the dynamic of that?
Jay never really cares. Like he and I have we have similar taste in shows, except for he can really get into like gore and I can't. Other than that, like that's pretty much it. But every night my husband all of a sudden has T-Rex arms. Like he cannot function with a remote. I don't know what it is. He wants to chill. He wants to lay back. He wants to have dinner. And I am the one that gets to pick up the remote, decide, look for something. And now it's a joke. I'm like, oh, T-Rex is out. Like he'll like hand the remote to me. Not because I need it or I want it or I've asked for it. He just likes me to choose and just deliver it to him on a silver platter. I don't know. It's weird.
You just reminded me, like, there's so many shows I need to sit down and just finish watching. Like, I need to finish Cobra Kai. I need to finish Stranger Things or catch up on Stranger Things. Better Call Saul's the one that everyone's Tonelli. Yeah, I know. And everyone's Ozark. I need to finish.
God, you're making my head hurt. We need to make a list.
Well, yeah, Ozark. I mean, I wasn't caught up, but like, one of our coworkers spoiled it on the air. What happens? I'm like, all right, well,
about that. Yeah. It's been so long ago, though. Trust me, it won't ruin it. Nothing will ruin Ozark.
But like Righteous Gemstones is another one that keeps getting recommended to me. The Boys, that's another one. I've never seen The Sopranos before. Like that's one everyone tells me I need to watch The Sopranos. I haven't either. So you see, I have a lot. Like I don't know about you, Chasta. I need to win the lot.
Knocking it off. Yeah.
It's just too much wrestling on. That's why. I either need to like win the lotto and just stay home all the time and not work or anything and just watch TV shows. Like,
yeah, I know. Right now, Jay and I are watching the Amy Bradley is Missing or whatever on Netflix. We like true crime stuff. That's a biggie in our house.
Okay.
Yeah,
but that's my thing, and just in general, like common courtesy, but also common sense. Like if I'm watching something with someone else, I'm not going to interrupt and talk. I want to focus and watch. So even if I have a question, I'll ask that person later when it's appropriate time. Like, let me watch this and I'll make a mental note to ask that question later. So yeah, I don't know why other people can't do that and concept that. Like, just watch the show and talk afterwards. Like I love like quote water cooler talk where it's like you watch something and you break it down with other people. I mean, hell, there's so many great podcasts out there that do reviews after shows and movies come out and like do that water cooler talk. I mean, that's whole content creation on YouTube is now. It's that water cooler talk in the break room after something major happens, but now it's on YouTube now. So anyway,
Jay could host a podcast like that, but it would have to air while the show is airing.
Live stream.
Good God almighty. Yeah, live stream. Okay, I gotta go get my heart winner. I hate to cut it off, but gotta do what I gotta do. Love you guys so much. Kayla, I'll see you tomorrow. And yes, in the meantime, Huey has a lot of TV to watch.
I'm not doing any more work today.
I know. All right, yeah, you're off. You're off.
I'm off. I'm just gonna watch TV now.
I love it. Michaela, we'll see you tomorrow. Love you guys.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. See you next week. All right. Bye.
Bye.